What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about The Batman. The Batman is Matt Reeves' latest take on a new and gritty Batman film that we have not seen before, and The Batman tells the story of the Riddler, a sadistic killer who begins murdering key political figures. Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. Now, I'm just going to read that synopsis off of IMDb because this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm going to be having a spoiler review on Sunday or Monday, and I'm going to be getting into the meat of that story on Sunday. So for right now, you are perfectly safe to watch this review because I am not going to get into any spoilers. I'm just going to be giving you my overall general thoughts on the film and what I thought coming out of the film when I saw it. Now this film was a film that I was really excited to see. I would have loved to see what Ben Affleck would have done with his Batman film, but Matt Reeves is one of the directors that I have been following for a while now. I haven't seen Let Him In, but that was the first time that I actually found Matt Reeves, and what he did with the last two Planet of the Apes movies is really fantastic and shows how much he can take a story and brings that emotional value. So that really got me excited about this film, and seeing Robert Pattinson getting casted as Batman, that was another thing that actually got me a lot more excited because a lot of people see him as just Twilight. The first time that I saw him outside of Twilight was probably Remember Me back in 2010, and then we got him in Water for Elephant, and he's been doing some lower tier stuff as of late, and I think that's a really great calling card for him because he has shown that in smaller films, even when you're talking about Good Times or The Lighthouse, those are the types of films that he excels in and he exceeds. And a lot of people have great trepidation about him taking over the role as Batman. And I can just say that he does not disappoint in this film because I thought he was one of the best parts of this film. I thought he was really intimidating and fearful. There's great shots in this film, especially towards the beginning of the film, where you just see where the camera lingers on dark hallways and you see nothing but the pitch black, and you feel like Batman is right there waiting to kick your fucking ass because this is a different type of Batman that we've actually ever seen. This is a Batman that listens to My Chemical Romance and will beat your fucking ass to Black Parade. That is the Batman that we get into this film, and I really like the darker aesthetics of this film. This film feels like the criminal underground of Gotham, and that's exactly what they're going for in this film because of the themes that goes throughout this film. It's a different look at Batman, and I think this is a different world that we can actually get new stories in. However, I feel like if you went into this film with a one-shot film idea, you would not lose any of that because this is a perfectly one-shot film just like Joker is. And I really like that this isn't a origin story. We are in year 2 of Bruce Wayne being Batman. And Robert Pattinson, even though you don't get to see him a lot as Bruce Wayne, that is one thing that I really loved about this film because this film is the Batman. You get the Batman for 95% of the film, and you really feel it. Because you really feel that this isn't a Bruce Wayne that wants to be Bruce Wayne. This is a Bruce Wayne that has seen shit and he is tired of it. He doesn't want any part of it. This is basically the most depressing Bruce Wayne that we get and the most suicidal Batman that we get because he doesn't care if he gets shot or killed on the line of duty. This guy will do whatever he can to protect the city of Gotham from dipshits, and that is something that I really appreciated about this film. This film, it rides that borderline of being a PG-13 going into R territory. There are horror aspects to this film that I really liked, and there are great performances in this film that I thought elevated the film a lot. Starting off with Commissioner Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright is an actor that I've been following for the longest time, and I think he is an underrated actor that needs to be appreciated a lot more. The way that he commands the screen with his voice, it's really dark and menacing, and you really know that he takes his job seriously, and that is the Commissioner Gordon that we get. We get the Detective Batman, but we also get the helping hand of Commissioner Gordon in this film, and that is something that really made this film feel whole. I think this is the most involved that we get to see Commissioner Gordon with Batman, because in other Batman iterations, we only see them talking and conversing, but you don't get to see them really connect at a deeper level. In this film, you get to see them connect from beginning to end. You see the way that cops look at Batman when he enters crime scenes. They don't want him there because they don't like him, and that is something that is new and refreshing to this take, because other Batman films have made it look like the cops really don't like Batman, but they don't show it, and I really like that. And that's something that I took away from this film, because it really enhanced the film just a little bit more. The cinematography in this film looked really beautiful, and you actually feel like Gotham is more of a character in this film than he has ever been, because the way that they shoot this film and the way that the cinematography looks, you get invested in this new world that you have never seen before. You may think you've seen this world before, but you actually haven't seen this world before, and that is something that I really liked, and something that Matt Reeves really brought to the forefront of this film. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman is one of the best parts of this film. I like the dynamic between Batman and Catwoman in this film. You see their imbalances in this film. You see what Catwoman is trying to strive for. You see what Batman is going for, but you get to see a little bit more of a Catwoman side, and you get to see what makes her tick. This isn't a Catwoman that will just beat your ass, but this is a Catwoman that knows her shit and knows her skills and will do whatever she can to get to the bottom of what she wants, even if she has to go undercover. And that is something that I really liked about Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. She is not only just beautiful, but she is kicking ass in this film from beginning to end. You see a lot of Catwoman in this film, and I really like the costume choice for this Catwoman, because it really does give us a sense of where she is in this point. And I thought the dynamic between Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz in this film was actually really well done, and I thought it was one of the best parts of the film. Colin Farrell in the trailers has been looking fantastic, and if you go into this film, you will not recognize Colin Farrell at all, because he is just different. He is different looking. He has a different tone of voice, and I really like the way that he commanded Penguin. This isn't your wobbling Penguin that you see in your other films. I really like Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and I thought they did really good things with him in that film, but this is a different, darker, underground belly Penguin that if you have wanted to see a Penguin with authority, this is a Penguin with authority, because I really liked what Colin Farrell did with Penguin in this film. The costume design for Penguin in this film was really amazing, and if you went into this film wondering who played Penguin, you would not guess Colin Farrell, because he does not sound like Colin Farrell. He does not look like Colin Farrell. If you really could look at his acting abilities in this film, you can probably pick out how Colin Farrell acts in his films and how he acts in this film, and this is the best that we've seen Colin Farrell at. I think he was great, and I really want to see what he can do with the Penguin standalone show that is coming on HBO Max, because seeing what we have with Peacemaker and this new world that Matt Reeves has created, it really gives us a sense of what Penguin is and what Penguin really wants to do in this world. And I think that is one of the best parts of this film. I thought John Turturro, for the most part, he doesn't have a lot of screen time in this film, but I think this is the best that I've seen him in a long while, because I really enjoy him in the first Transformers. I was on and off with him in the second and third and in the fifth one, but I really thought this was his best performance, and they gave him a layer that you don't expect and really gets you involved in his character. And going into this film, I didn't know how I was going to feel about him being in this film, but he knocked it out of the park. Everybody in this film knocked it out of the park. I thought everybody in this film did a really magnificent job, and even though we don't get a lot of him in this film, I thought what Andy Serkis did with Alfred in this film was really great, and I wish we could have seen a little bit more of him because he's not in the film as much as I wanted him to be. The action set pieces in this film were shot great and they were executed magnificently. I think this is the best action that we've seen in any of the Batman films. This is a Batman with really strong rage, and he wants to be able to be a commanding presence in this film. And just like they showed in I believe it's in the second trailer, where you hear Robert Pattinson as Batman say, when the light flashes the sky, it's not just a sign, it's a warning, something like that. And it really is, because when you see the bat signal shine in the sky, yeah, everybody in the criminal underground, if you are carjacking somebody and you see that light go off, yeah, I'm running the other fucking way so I don't get killed. But I really enjoyed this film for what this film was and what Matt Reeves did. If you have been waiting for the longest time to see Batman being the detective, this is the Batman film for you. Yeah, the runtime is a bit too long, and to some people that will bother them. This film flew by fast. I don't think there is a moment where I was wanting to get up to go to the bathroom, because I thought every single set piece in this film was really intriguing and really commanding, and it really brought us something different and really forceful that we haven't seen in any other Batman films. And I really enjoyed that part of this film a lot more. I enjoyed the horror Batman that we got in this film. And let me talk about Paul Dano in this film, because I am saving the best part of this film for last. Yeah, you don't get to see a lot of Riddler in this film, but when he is on screen and the way that they introduce him in this film is one of the best parts of the film, because I thought it was really intriguing, it was really menacing, it was really scary, and I really like what they did with the Riddler in this film. This isn't your Jim Carrey Riddler. This is a Riddler with motive. This is a Riddler with intentions. This is a Riddler that will stop at nothing to get to the bottom of what his mission is in this film. And Paul Dano as the Riddler was one of the best things about this film. I wanted to see a lot more of the Riddler in this film, because I really like the way that he leaves his clues, the way that he kills his victims, and I really like the tense setting that they put this Riddler in, because when you see the Riddler in broad daylight, that is a lot more scarier than Batman in the shadows. Because when you are seeing this Riddler for the first time, it comes out of nowhere, and once this film starts, yeah, you know exactly what kind of film this film is going to be. And Paul Dano, for the most part, was the best part of this film. I kind of wish they didn't show him without his mask in this film, because I thought he was a lot more menacing in this film as the Riddler with a mask on. It is a really dark and sadistic Riddler that you are going to be enthralled by. This is a Riddler that you do not want to mess with, and you know exactly what his goals are. Overall, I really enjoyed this film for what the film was and what Matt Reeves was trying to convey in this film. The trailers looked amazing, and those trailers did not disappoint, because I really enjoyed this film that from beginning to end. Even though this film is really long, I really enjoyed every single moment in this film. You don't have to stay for the credits, because there's really nothing that happens at the end of the credits. It's just a little message that you can just easily just skip out if you really need to go to the bathroom. But I thought it was a really dark, tense, and really horrifying Batman, and I would love to see more of. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give the Batman a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, this is a near perfect film for me, in my humble opinion. I thought there were no dry spells in this film. I thought every single moment in this film was really compelling, and it really brought something new to this world that I really enjoyed seeing. And I really can't wait to see what Matt Reeves does with this Batman world, because at this point I'm not sure if he's actually doing more Batman things, but if he is, I am not going to be disappointed, because this is a wonderful achievement in a Batman film, and I can't wait for a lot of people to see this film, because I thought this film was really, really spectacular. Overall, what are your thoughts on The Batman? Have you guys seen any early screenings? Are you excited for this film? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are, and non-spoiler, of course. Don't leave any spoiler thoughts in the comments below. Please be respectful of that. Leave those thoughts for the spoiler discussion video that I'm going to be posting on Sunday or Monday, so look forward to that. And if you like this review, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more reviews. I'm going to be having a lot more reviews coming out this week that I have been backed up on. I'm going to be finishing off my Hotel Transylvania series and my Batman series. I was hoping to finish my Batman series before I got to the Batman, but I had problems going on, so I wasn't able to get those reviews out. But I will be finishing those off, and then at the end of Batman v Superman, I'm going to be giving my rankings of all the Batman live action theatrical released films. So until next time, this is Josie Reviews.